Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Elle's Beamer's Crafty Corner. And we did this project live on a craft with me, but I wanted to make sure that there was a video. So we're going to do a video on this one. And it's kind of cute. It looks like a little file folder, you know, like a collection of little file folders. And it's got some writing space. And then this little pocket flips down. And there's a journaling tag in here. And there's a journaling tag here, and you can write there. And then there's a tag in this little pocket, and there's more journaling space right here. And then this is not really a tab, it's another journaling card. So just a cute little tuck, you know, folio tuck that you can do. And very quick, very easy. This takes like 2.5 regular file folders or 2 large legal size folders. So I'm going to get out all of my supplies and I'll be right back, and we're going to walk through this step by step, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, supplies. You're going to need 2 large or about 2.5 regular size file folders. Paper trimmer that can handle the file folders. Scoring tool, scoreboard, ruler, scissors, glue, ink, all of that. And then, you know, whatever paper you want to use to cover and decorate. Also some number stamps and things like that would be helpful, you know, depending upon how, you know, what your styling is. So I'm going to go ahead and move everything out of the way. We're going to get started cutting the pieces, so I'll be right back to do that. Be right back. Alright, so let's cut the first one. So our first cut is going to be take our file folder, put it into the trimmer, and we are going to cut a piece that is 7 inches long. And then from the fold, 5.5 inches. So fold on this side. There we go. That's our main folder. Okay? Then we're going to cut another one at 7. We're going to cut the bottom where those three score lines are. Let's get rid of those. And then we're going to cut 5.5. Okay. Make sure that we got that nice and straight. Okay. So, 2 pieces that are 7 by 5.5, and 1 piece that is 7 by 5.5, but connected. Okay? Those are the first pieces. Now, I'm going to cut one more piece. Here, let me do this one first. So this one of these that we cut that was 7 and 5.5, we're going to cut that down to 6 3/4. So we're going to take 1/4 inch off, and then 5 1/4. So 1/4 inch off there. Okay. So that is the 3 base pieces, and now we need to make our fold piece. And to do that, we're going to want a piece that is 4 3/4 inches wide. So let's see what we've got here. This one's about 4.5, so it can work. So let's cut it off here. There we go. And we need it to be, so 4 3/4 or 4.5. Just depends on, you know, what you want. It has to fit inside of here, and you still have to cut your tab. So 4.5 works. 4.5 by 7.5. Okay, and then we want a piece that is 4 by 4.5. So again, I'm going to put this in, get rid of the score marks. 4. And 4.5. Okay. So those are all the pieces that I'm going to be needing for this. So that piece that you have that's 4 and 4.5 on the 4.5 side, just fearlessly lop off a piece. Okay, that's it for the parts. We're going to do some scoring. I'll be right back. So there's only one piece of this that's going to get scored, and that is the piece that is 4.5 by 7.5. And what we're going to do is we're going to score that at 1/2 inch. And then over here at 4 3/4, or is it no, it's 5. 5. Okay? Those are our only scores. We'll go ahead and fold that. Make sure that it's nice and straight. Burnish the fold. All right. Now you can do a little scissor work here. We're just going to go ahead and wedge that 1/2 inch flap. We're pretty much done with that one. We can put it to the side. Next, we're going to be doing our tabs, and I'll be right back. All right, so to cut our tabs, we'll start with the 2 singles. This is the folded one. So we have to decide, where do we want our tabs? On the demo, I did them, stepped 3, and then the last one pulls out. But it could be the middle one that pulls out or the top one that pulls out. It's entirely up to you. Okay? But that one is the one that is slightly smaller than the other. That is your the tab that will pull. So I'm going to put mine in the middle. And this is 7 3/4, 6 3/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3/4. And I want to kind of put that, I want to find my middle. So let's see. Which is about 3 5/8. So I'm going to put a mark at about 3/4 of an inch to one side and 3/4 of an inch to the other side. And that is going to be where I'm going to put my tab for this one, because I want the middle one to come out. And this is my back pocket, and I want this one to be the bottom. So let's see. I'm going to do this one at, that is my center, and it is 3.5 inches. So here and here. And then the last one is going to be this one. And this one we have to do a little bit more work on, because we have to take 1/2 inch off of the front. Okay, we need to remove 1/2 inch here. So I'm going to get my blade there. My trusty craft knife. I'm going to take that 1/2 inch off. And that is going to leave me that nice 1/2 inch there. And this one, this is my back piece. Tab's going to be over here. My middle piece, tab's going to be in the middle. So I'm going to do this one up here. So again, I'm going to put my ruler on. And here, and here. That's where I'm going to be cutting my tab. Oh, I need a bigger tab than that. Let me see. Check my distance here. So that one's right. Ah. There we go. Okay. So I'm pre-marking those. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down about a 1/2 inch, and then we'll be taking that off, but we're going to use the blade for that. Okay, so about 1/2 inch, about 1/2 inch, about 1/2 inch, about 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to be using my ruler to take off the rest of this. So let me get this lined up. Craft knife. Okay, one tab. One tab. Two tabs. Last one. That one out. And this one needs to go a little further. That one out. Okay. I made that one a little crooked. There we go. So there's all three of my tabs. Now I'm gonna, make these look a little nicer. If you have a corner rounder that will do that, then by all means do it with your corner rounder. If you don't, then you are going to have to trim it with your scissors. You can use like a penny or a dime to get that circle that you want on the edges here, and that will help. Okay. Now, obviously, if you have a punch board, by all means use it. If you have the tab punch board, or you have one of the box touch or the envelope boards, use those boards. Okay? I'm going to clean this mess up. I'll be right back. Okay, you remember those two pieces we cut off when we made the file folder itself? Get those out, because we're going to cut some pieces off of that at 1 1/4. 1 1/4. 1 1/4 and 1 1/4. We're going to get 3 of these. We really only need parts of them, but we're going to get them anyway. Okay? And then we're going to do a little light scoring here. Now you can fold these by hand. That's entirely up to you. Okay? And I'm going to score these at 5/8 of an inch, which is right between the 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. And then I'm going to fold and burnish them, because we're going to use these to attach the back pocket. Okay. Okay. So we are going to need 2 for the sides. And that is about 5 inches. So 2 that are about 4 3/4 to 5 inches long. And then 1 that's 7 inches for the bottom. And we're gonna, from the fold line going in, we're going to clip these, okay? From the fold to the open end, clip. Doesn't have to be huge, but we want to angle those, okay? There. And right there. All right, so the rest of this we can get rid of. We don't need it. All right, so now we have all of our pieces cut. We have our gussets, our back piece, our pocket, our flip, our insert card. What we don't have is mats, so let's do that. Okay. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 that are the same size, and those are 4.5 by 6.5. So kind of decide, you know, what you want to do. I'm going to do the inside front one in this. So let me grab my trimmer. So I know it's got to be 4.5 across. It's 6.5 long. So I'm going to cut that one. Okay. And then I have to look at, you know, the other pieces. Like, what do I want on the front? Or this one. Thinking that's my front. Okay, so 4.5. 6.5. Yeah, that's my front. All right, so I have my front and my inside. Now I need to do the one behind the flip. And so I have to think about what's going to be on my flip. It's going to be this one, I think. Okay, so 4.5 across. Tall. So that's number 3. That's the one that's going to go here. And now I have to think about the back cover. And I think I'm just going to use some more of this on the back cover. Because it gives me a lot of writing space, you know. All right, and then 6.5. Okay, so that's all 4 covers. Then I have to cut my pieces for my flip. And you have basically, you know, 3 pieces here to cut. So let's take a look at those. So the first one is this little pocket, which is 2.5, I believe. So the pocket is 2.5, so you're going to go 2.25. So you need a piece that's 2.25 here, and that you want the rest of it up here. So this piece is 4.25. So we're going to cut that 4.25. And then 2.25 for the bottom, and 6.5 for this. No, it's not 6.5, Gooper. I'm not thinking. This one down here just has to be the right width. As far as the length, it doesn't have to go more than like 3 inches. So three. I'll show you why. Let me grab it. Okay, so here's your top, and here's the bottom where your pocket's going to close. So you only need to cover like that, okay? So that piece only needs to be about 3 inches. Okay, so that piece is going to go right here, and then this is going to fold up. See how that covers? And then the next piece down here is 2.25. That piece goes there. All right, now we have to do the other side of this. And the other side of this is 4.5 by 4 3/8. So you're going to go like 4 1/8, 4 1/4, give or take, by 4 1/4. So that piece, and that is the piece that's going to be showing when it flips up, and it's going to be up against this piece. Like that. Okay? So you want to keep that in mind when you're cutting this piece. All right. And that piece fits. All right, so now we have those. Now, what's the last piece we have to cut? Well, we have one more piece here. We have this piece. So let's go ahead and grab that one, and let's give it a measure, deciding on how we're putting it in. If we're going to put it this way, like this, then we need to be mindful of the direction of our papers going this way. If we decide we're going to put it this way so that it opens in, then we have to be mindful of our paper going this way. So it does change how we cut the paper due to the measurements. I'm going to have mine go in. So I want a piece that is 4.5 by 4, and I want it to be going that way. And I don't want to use that because that's going to be right up against, let's see, that's 4. Let's try 4.5 and see what that looks like. And then I'm going to line this by putting twice my distance, bottom and side. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim around my piece. And when I back up, it should fit nicely. So that's my pocket. And then what else do I have here? I've already done those. So the next thing I have is this, and I have to figure out how I'm doing it. This is my insert card. It's the one that's smaller. Okay, so let's do a little rounding, and let's do a little measuring. So this one is 6 3/4 by 4 5/8. So we're going to do here's the thing. Paper that I'm using, none of them are going to fit on here. So I am going to be kind of improvising this part, okay? So I'll get to that later. Let me get this all cleaned up and I'll be right back. So now, let's just make sure we got everything we need, okay? So we have a front cover. We open it up. We have an inside piece. We have a secondary piece. We have our flip. We have a, let me move this where we can all see it. We have a back to our flip. We have our pocket for that. We move this up. We have our piece that goes here. If we bring it down, we have our piece that goes here. Turn that. And then we have our back cover, which is actually going to go onto this piece. But we have to ink first. So we're going to go ink everything. Everything. Ink like a crazy person here. We're going to ink everything. We're even going to ink these just along the folds. Okay? And then when we come back, we're going to put this thing together. I'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to turn this to the front. That's our flap that opens. We're going to put our cover on. If you've rounded your corners, you're probably going to want to round the corners on this as well, in which case you're going to need to re-ink the corners. We'll go ahead and get this one on. Now you could use tape on this because there's no stress on it and you're not putting anything into it. And it is entirely up to you how you apply this. We're going to open it up. We're going to put our first piece on the inside. Again, I'm rounding the corners, 2 corners, because I have 2 corners rounded. Re-inking the corners, just so I don't have that little white spot. And I'm putting this piece in. Now we're going to put this piece in, again, clipping those corners. And I'm going to put this one in, and then I'm going to put the back one in. And then when I come back, and by the back one, I mean the back piece. When I come back, we will move on to putting the pockets and stuff in. I'll be right back. All right, so once we've inked everything and we rounded our corners and we put all of our pieces together, what we need to do is we need to gusset this piece in. So we're going to get our gussets. And we're going to be putting some adhesive on one side of our gusset. And we're going to be putting that along this side with the fold right up against the edge, and the other small one on the other side. And then we're going to put the longer one across the bottom. I have grandkids. All right, we're just going to make sure that we line up that folded edge right along the bottom. And once we have that, we're going to put a little glue here and glue down the gusset. Okay, and then this is going to get glued to the back. So, glue. Again, you could use tape here because your card is not going to come in contact with this. Okay. Line it up on the bottom, line it up on the sides. Apply. Now you may want to re-ink this edge because if you're not going to cover it with washi tape, it's going to show. All right, so now we have our front, the inside, and our back piece. Now we're going to do these. And the first one we're going to do is this flip. Okay? So the flip is actually going to go right here at the very bottom. So we're going to add some glue. And we're going to line this up with our flip on the inside, right at the bottom, about halfway. You can give yourself a little bit of space there if you want to. And we're going to press that down. Okay? Then we're going to cover this back piece with our mat. My piece is directional, so I'm just making sure that it's in the right direction. All right, so I've got that on there. Then I'm going to flip that down, and I'm going to put in my piece in the back here. Okay? Now, with this piece, remember, we cut it shorter than it needed to be because we have the pocket over it. So, we're going to make sure that we line this up at the top. Okay? Then close your pocket. Boop. If you want to put a finger pull in this, you can. I don't see a reason to do that, but you may want to. We're going to put our mat on our pocket piece, and then when I come back, we're going to do the other pocket at the top there, because we have to cover this up now. Okay, so I will be right back. So the next thing we're going to do is put our little pocket together here. And then this is going to get put in, and this is being used to hide that. Okay, so glue on two sides, across the bottom and up the side. Make sure that we cover that. There we go. Alrighty. So now you can put a tag or a journaling card in here. You can put a tag or journaling cards here. Flip that up, close this over, pick it up, and right here you have space to fit a large journaling card. That's it. That's the whole piece. That's it, I did it. All right, so if you joined me for the craft with me and you started this project with me, I want to thank you, and I hope that you find this video to be informational as far as finishing this piece. And this, because it's, you know, it goes in a different direction. It goes this way. I will probably use small pieces of paper and kind of patchwork it together, you know. So that's it. You know, I've got my cover, I have some writing space, I have places for tags and journaling cards inside. You could do another pocket on here if you wanted to, certainly. And then, of course, I have my big journaling card here, which is a gusseted pocket, so I can put a lot of stuff in here. So that's it. That's my whole project for today. If you're new here, push the button for me. If you're not, thanks for coming back. I'm glad I didn't scare you off. Let's see what else. Check out my community tab to see what's going on the channel, or skip on over to my Facebook group and take a peek over there. You can also check out my Ko-Fi for some free digitals, or take a look at my Patreon. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye.